I apologize for my quality. I feel like I'm getting worse day after day. But at least I got a mic, and if this is doing well, let me know. If it's not, I'm suing. Today's video, I want to talk about you are choosing your reality. And a lot of people have difficulty realizing how that is possible, because a lot of people, when life goes a shitty way over and over again, you start to think that life is working against you and the universe is working against you. And so these are things that I've realized personally about myself that made me think like, whoa, I think this is how I'm manifesting my reality over and over again. And I've listed 3 things that I want to discuss. The first thing is that dissecting your reality from yourself. Like, I am what I decide I am. I am what I decide to affect me despite reality and despite people. And the best example of this is that you are not the body or the mind. You are a soul that's experiencing life. And so I am not my past. I am not my trauma. I am who I decide I am, because I'm simply a soul that is using my body and my mind to experience life. And the same thing goes for your thoughts as well. Like, you can literally step out of your thoughts and think, whoa, where is this coming from? And as soon as you start looking at your thoughts, and as soon as you start looking at the actions that you're taking over and over again, it's because of the past, it's because of the experience, it's because of what people tell you, and you're doing that, you're repeating that automatically over and over again. So your mind and your body is recreating trauma that you've been through unknowingly. And I think as soon as I had the realization of like, I am not my body or my mind, I'm just a soul. Therefore, I can decide what I want to be. Therefore, I can decide what affects me and what not affects me. And so that's really amazing, because what is the worst that can happen? Is death. And what is death? Is your soul returning home. So what is there to be afraid of? You are a free being. You are a free soul. You are born to create and experience life. And I think that realization is so beautiful. The second thing is having the ability to move on. And I think this is the same thing with when something bad happens or something traumatic happens. We are recreating it. We are rethinking about it over and over again. Therefore, we are hurting ourselves more than reality has ever done. Like, the worst abusers are ourselves, because when something happens, we're not moving on from it. We're not letting go of it. We're constantly ruminating and resonating and making that into your reality. Like, imagine someone comes and like tells you something, or they call you ugly or whatever, and you keep thinking about that, you keep ruminating that, and you think you've created that into reality. You've literally let that person hurt you, other than you could just walk away. Other than you can just look at them and realize that they're just projecting. And this is the art of moving on immediately. Like, I think the best way that I do this is just joke about it. Like, if someone throws shade at you, or if something bad happens, instead of me personally, I would view it so seriously. I would take it way too seriously. But now I just joke about it. When something bad happens in life, I just joke about it, and it helps me view the situation way less seriously. And when it's not as serious as you think, it's easier for you to move on from it, because the quicker that you can move on, the quicker you will get to where you want to get to in life. Because the same thing, life is a journey. And so when you're living in a journey, you're going to go through things, and you're going to go through experiences and lessons that are going to lead you to where you want to get in life. And the more bad, I've realized that the more bad that I go through, the more good my life happens. So now when something bad happens, I'm like, well, something good is going to happen. So literally have the mentality of, thank you, God or the universe, for this. So now what's next? You know? Like, also the same thing as with all the things and all the shit that I went through in my life. And a lot of people view that as the worst thing ever. I am now viewing it as a blessing, because I would never have learned all the things that I've learned. I would never have created all the boundaries and all the dreams and all the expectations that I have because of what I went through. You know, I'm like, all this bad is not for any reason. I know something amazing and something big is going to happen, because there's no light without dark, you know? So there's no negative without positive. So if there's a lot of negative, there's something amazing and positive from that. The more the pain, the more the reward. The more the lesson, the wiser you become. The third realization that I've heard about myself, and I think this is drawn to a lot of people. So I first need to tell a story. First I tell a story, which is in the 19th centuries, I think it's about in the 1800s, where a woman wanted to become a publisher. She wanted to become an author and write books. That is what she wanted. But in that timeline, women didn't have any right to work. Women did not have any right to education or anything. Like, their entire life was getting married and having children. That was their being, literally. So this woman, I think she was not married. Her name is Mary. She did not get married yet. So what she did was, she wrote a book and went to a publisher to publish her book. And all the books and all the things that women written at that time was never taken seriously. And the publisher looked at her and he said, "Ma'am, you should focus on making babies." I remember at that moment I was like doing dishes and listening to this audiobook. I was like seething with rage, literally. But that woman, she turned around and started acting like an actual man. She took her books, she continued to write, she wrote a book and published it under the name of a man. She was like, "Oh, you want me to be a man? Then I'm going to be a man." She started to dress as a man, act as a man. She would like have conversations with men, like literally cosplaying as a man. And people took her seriously, and they also liked the idea where this amazing cosplaying that she was doing was also really interesting to people. And a lot of people view this as a terrible sexism story and this and that, but for me, my takeaway and my realization that I've realized is that she had one goal in life. Her goal in life was not fixing the sexism in society. Her goal was to become an author, and she did that. She had one goal in mind, and she achieved that goal by not being too emotional, by not viewing life too seriously. And that was really astonishing to me, because I realized that I'm way too emotional. I carry my heart on my sleeve, literally. And my sister told me this. Like, my beautiful, smart sister would always tell me that I care too much about things, about society, about politics, about things that should not make any sense to me. Not it it's not something that has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with who I am. It has nothing to do with my goals. But I'm putting myself in that situation and in those shoes, and I don't belong there. That's not my place. I should be focusing on myself and my goals. And we would always argue about this, but I think I was thinking about this a lot, like thinking, am I wrong? But after listening to the story, it was really eye-opening to me. But at the same time, I think being too emotional is not a problem. Caring too much is not a problem. But letting that destroy you is the issue. Like most of the time when successful people talk about their emotions, people view them as like, whoa, this person has emotions. And people do view it as that. But I think for me, I see a person who went through shit emotionally, but they never let that get in the way of their goals, you know? So have emotions, wear your heart on your sleeve, don't let that destroy your goals and your vision, you know? I think that was so eye-opening to me, because I take life way too emotionally, and then I try to be the opposite of that, you know? Find the balance. The beauty of life is being able to find the balance, because sometimes I will try to turn off all of my emotions and try to be something that I'm not. Like, I think every part of you is important, every part of you is beautiful, and every part of you is very useful. Like the emotional part of me, the part of me that gets angry all the time, but I should not destroy what is meant for me. And I think this comes with the beauty of, unfortunately, life is not perfect. Unfortunately, there is misogyny. There is all these issues in life, but what you should be focusing on is what you want. What do I want to get out of life? You can't fix everything. You can't have it all. But what do you want? What's that one thing that you really, really want, and you would go through anything to get it? Would you pretend to be a man? Like, you know? So I think that is the beauty of life, is the beauty of not being too emotional in a funny, charismatic way. Like sometimes someone disrespects you, disrespect them back. You don't have to be serious about it. You don't have to ruin their life. But like, so what? Move on. What's next? I sound like my sister. But yeah, that's it for the video. I hope this mic does not sound like shit. And I hope you've learned something. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.